What's up, YouTube? So we've been working on a 1.4 turbo, what is it, a Cobalt? Chevy Cruz, 1.4 Chevy Cruz, and they make that motor and a bunch of different chassis. So one, if you have a whistling at idle, chances are the diaphragm and the valve cover is bad, but what GM is leading to say is it's really a design problem, which I really do and don't believe. Well, I think, yeah, you start using silicone and plastic, yeah, how long does that last under the pressures of a turbocharger and high combustion temperatures and tons of blow by? So yeah, probably a shit design. Curious if they made it out of metal, how much longer would it last? Also, the PCV system they're saying is a bad design. Everything's a bad design today. Change your oil more frequently, drive your car a lot easier, and I would probably have less issues. And I believe the whistle from the valve cover is because of, cheap parts. At idle, you're also going to have some check engine lights for lean fuel codes, stumble, stall. So once you replace that, then they're saying, well, you need to inspect the intake manifold to see if the PCV system is missing the little rubber stopper in there. And the image of it is like, I say, like the newer style LED camera. It has all the little dots with a dot in the center. So in the center is supposed to be this little rubber piece that disintegrates. But I'm going to show you a picture of it. So this is the camera down inside the intake manifold. All right, so you can see that 6, 7, 8, 9, 3, 6, 9, 10 holes. So one in the center and 9 around it. So I'm on the intake side where the intake ports go to the cylinder head. But if you look at the top of your motor, you'll see this little plastic tube. You can pull that out, and if your intake manifold's not super crappy and cruddy, you should be able to see this piece. And it's a little piece right in the center of that hole. If you don't see that piece, you might want to try and clean it and inspect it, but chances are it's going to be missing, so you're going to need an intake manifold. So also what I do believe is that causes a noise as well. So when you have pressure going through the turbocharger, when you go on throttle snap, the throttle plate closes, and then you get some boost pressure that goes through there, and it whistles through there too. But what happens when you change the intake manifold and you change the valve cover, and under cruise conditions, you still have a whistle, but it's not from a failed turbocharger? My suspicion is that the ring lands are stuck, letting too much blow-by go through and putting too much positive pressure in the crankcase. Therefore, it's transferring up to the valve cover and the intake manifold. I'm going to do a motor flush on this individual's motor next time it's here and see if my thought process is correct. I would bet you that it is. But they also sell a kit that you plug off the PCV system inside this valve cover, and I did order it. I'm going to do this, so I did get it nice and clean. I didn't spend a lot of time cleaning the port, but you can see that it's cleaner than the rest of the crud and crap that's inside this intake manifold. And then once that's plugged inside the intake manifold, there's some hoses and valving that goes external and then goes back through the purge valve for recirculation. And that eliminates the positive pressure inside the crankcase, inside the valve cover, inside the intake manifold. Because once you plug that, the positive pressure from in here doesn't go back into the intake manifold in here. So pressure going back. I would bet also this car could use an external blow-off valve, which would really help this engine out overall for longevity. But again, this is a mini little race engine. I would bet a catch can would have made a lot of difference too. But simple inspection of your car. Pull a little plastic cover off on the valve cover. You'll see this circle piece on the top. Put your finger over the little hole that's exposed. If you can change the idle and the stumble with that, you hear it hissing, spray it with some brake clean, you'll see the difference instantly. It's going to need a valve cover. Pull the tube off the top side of your intake, which is here. And I'll show you another image. So there's that, right? So then once this is in your car like this, let me get the camera. You can take this tube and you can look down. Let me see if I can shine a light in there. See how well this works. There you go. And you can see if that little piece is sticking out of the intake manifold. So you should see it sticking out in the view of the tube. Chances are 30 to 60,000 miles, in my opinion, is probably disintegrated. If you beat the crap out of your car, it's probably been way gone. And you're just driving around with an engine light on and some problems. But yeah, that's pretty sick. Go back to a traditional PCV system that's external, that is cheap to maintenance. Let's go back in here. Now you can't see it. Let's go back in this way. So like I said, it looks like an LED camera image of the 10 holes. But right in the center is supposed to be this little rubber stopper that's missing. Where are you at? Let's go, let's go, let's go. What happened, G? Right there? There.
Yeah.
So what do? Push some crap into it?
That's right where all these holes are.
Yep. So I push some more crap into it. So I'll get that cleaned up again. All right, thanks for watching.